Today, we're talking dubbing. Dubbing is a foundational material in fly tying. You can find it in huge pike and musky flies, delicate dry flies, bass bugs, and those nearly microscopic midge patterns we all love. It's a material that has changed drastically in the past few decades. What was traditionally natural fibers twisted onto thread for nymph and dry fly bodies now has become, at times, an ambiguous term. We now have an incredible world of synthetic fibers to draw from. We can control fiber length, create wild color combinations with fun names, and blend materials to create purpose-driven mixes. Whether you're tying delicate dries, buggy nymphs, twitchy terrestrials, or sexy streamers, MFC has a whole range of dubbing to meet your needs at the vise and on the water. Let's take a look at some of our favorites so you can find the perfect material for your next session at the vise. This is our tailwater dubbing, a blend of natural and synthetic fibers, a 1/2 to 1 inch in length, ideal for thin nymphs, emergers, cripples, and other buggy patterns. To create this blend, we started with a foundation of soft rabbit and mixed it with antron fibers. What you get with this combination is excellent water absorption, natural movement and texture with those fibers, and a nice, subtle sparkle. I really like using this dubbing when I'm filling my boxes with those traditional standbys that I never seem to have enough of. Think of the hare's ear, soft hackles, and scuds. If you're filling a fly box, this is a great dubbing to have on hand. Next up, our special sauce dubbing. 100% synthetic, measuring 2 to 3 inches with a blend of soft and coarse fibers. Our special sauce dubbing can build tight dry fly bodies or be brushed out for a buggy look. There are added translucent fibers that give it a natural sheen to imitate the look of live aquatic and terrestrial insects. This is definitely a go-to dubbing for a lot of flies. I find myself using it personally for slender nymph patterns and dry fly bodies. It's easy to get really tight noodles. I think it helps to contrast the special sauce with our tailwater dubbing, which has a natural rabbit foundation. Now, natural dubbing can be easier to use, but generally a fully synthetic dubbing gives tyers that ability to get a tighter dubbing noodle on their thread and a slender body on the hook. What's great about this dubbing is you still have the ability to brush it out and pick it out to create that buggy, natural look. That's why it's called the special sauce. Well, we named a dubbing Chub Dub. Personally, I love the name and it probably gives you a good idea of why we created it. This fully synthetic dubbing is 1 to 2 inches in length and combines a trilobial fiber base with finely shredded mylar. What does all that mean? Basically, that we've created the ultimate dubbing for grabbing attention. I like this dubbing for chubbies and terrestrials, of course, but also streamer bodies. If you need to whip up some, peanut MVs, it has that dubbing loop, nice tapered body. This is perfect for that. It's a durable fiber blend with some subtle translucence and just the right amount of sparkle, not over the top. We're not trying to scare fish, just intrigue them with the Chub Dub. Next up, our spicy squirrel dubbing, a blend of 1/2 to 1 inch natural and synthetic fibers designed for maximum bugginess. Now, we love squirrel for those short, rough fibers that add texture and movement to some of our favorite patterns. By adding some translucent synthetic fibers, we create a dubbing with a subtle sheen that's easier to work with than just standard natural squirrel and creates lifelike legs and gills. I really like to use this dubbing to create spiky collars and thorax sections that stand out and demand attention. You can twist dub this pretty easily thanks to the added synthetic fibers, but it also works well with split thread techniques when you need to save space on smaller flies. Be sure to comb and tease this dubbing out to get all the maximum buggy goodness. Let's talk about dirty bird dubbing. We teamed up with the material master himself, Greg SENYO'S, to bring something completely new to the market. This is a unique blend of synthetic fibers mixed with a little flash and our select marabou fibers. You can use traditional techniques and twist dub it around your thread to create thin, buggy leech bodies, but we really love using it in dubbing loops or tied in clumps for dynamic streamer heads. What you get out of this material is something extremely enticing for fish. It's that subtle material movement that takes place when you're not even manipulating the fly. It just does it on its own. We've got a pile of classic and wild colors, but don't be afraid to create your own to match the needs of your watershed or show fish something completely new. Think leeches, swing flies, and streamers, and create something new today. Next, we're going to jump into the Arizona line of dubbing, starting with minnow hair. This is a subtle blend of natural and synthetic fiber that offers excellent movement in the water with great realistic fishy colors. This 2-inch blend is wildly soft, so you're going to get a ton of movement in the water. This type of dubbing or hair is generally tied in at the midpoint and folded back. To do this, you'll want to pull some of these fibers apart, align them, and stack them together. By tying in a few clumps and brushing everything out, you can create wonderfully realistic baitfish patterns. You can use one color or stack them to create a two-tone effect, and maybe even add some barring with a marker to get that classic minnow camouflage look. Related to minnow hair is Arizona's crystal minnow hair. This is the standard Arizona minnow hair with a clear, transparent mylar added that makes this material look even more alive in the water. It's especially suited for clear, low water situations where fish are spooky or may have been fished over a ton. It pairs really well with the minnow hair. I'll often use this and pair it with the standard minnow hair on the upper hemisphere of a two-tone pattern. Just like the standard minnow hair, these are longer fibers around 2 inches that you'll want to pull apart and align before tying in. Most tyers are going to use the middle point as a tie-in and fold the fibers back to create a natural looking taper. It's time for some flash. Let's talk about Arizona Diamond Dub. This is a little bit brighter dubbing that has some subtle flash for extra attention grabbing. It's fairly soft and easy to manipulate. At around 1 inch, it's that perfect length to give you a wide range of application options. If you pull it apart and use smaller amounts, it can be easily twisted onto your thread. It's also a great length for tying in and folding back as a wing or head material, and it works great in dubbing loops as well. There's a wild amount of color options here, so you can find something perfect to use for your attractor patterns, streamers, dries, nymphs, and even hot spots. Related to Diamond Dub and a little bit longer is Arizona Diamond Hair. Ideal for minnow and baitfish patterns at around 3 inches, it can be used at full length for larger patterns or cut down for just about anything. It's a nice blend of textures, so it will hold some shape for you in the water, and there's plenty of flash. This is just about everything you need for a baitfish pattern in one package. There are piles of colors so you can tie for trout, bass, pike, and even saltwater. I hope you've heard of this one by now. This is Arizona SIMI Seal. This is a super well-known material that tyers have been using to create some very recognizable patterns. A fairly secretive blend of coarse, medium-length fibers, SIMI Seal measures out to 1 to 1.5 inches and is one of the most versatile dubbings available. It's especially useful for nymph patterns, leeches, and streamers. You can twist dub it, but where it really shines is folded and dubbing loop techniques. These coarse fibers look great at the vise and even better in the water. They brush out easily, but can also be trimmed down for buggy nymph patterns. There are more color mixes of this than I ever thought possible, so head over to your favorite MFC dealer and pick up some for your next tying session. This is the next size up, Arizona SIMI Seal Mega Dub. Half again longer than the standard at 2.5 to 3 inches. This is the material many tyers reach for when tying longer leeches and larger streamers. It's the reliable blend of coarse fibers and extensive color options that keeps tyers reaching for more. With this longer length, you'll want to skip twisting this dubbing onto your thread and stick to using it in clumps tied in at the midpoint and folded back, or it works great in dubbing loops as well. It picks out and brushes out easily to give you that buggy, brushy look we're all looking for. Next up, one I think that gets skipped over way too much for how good it looks in flies and how easy it is to work with, AIRZONA synthetic dubbing. This is a semi-coarse material blend with a slick sheen, not flash, so you get some shine, but it's wonderfully subtle. The 3-inch-ish fibers aren't super straight here, so you get a nice buggy material that's great for nymphs, emergers, and dries. The color options are classic, so you can match all your favorite patterns with the synthetic dubbing that's consistent and easy to use. I'd say if you're tying nymph patterns in size 14 or smaller, this is a great material. If you're tying something larger like stonefly patterns or hex nymphs, I'd probably opt for the synthetic mega dubbing, size up. A little bit bigger flies, larger nymphs, larger dry flies, but still that great workable material and killer color options, AIRZONA synthetic mega dubbing. Measuring out at around 4 to 4.5 inches, this is a great semi-coarse material for larger nymphs, emergers, and dries. There's a nice subtle sheen, not flash, that looks fantastic without being too flashy. Pull it apart, thin it out, and twist dub it into your favorite patterns. It brushes and teases out for a buggy look that fishes great. Personally, I like this material for hare's ears, stoneflies, and big steelhead nymphs. All right, thanks for taking a look at some of these materials with me today. We hope this information helps you find the right materials for whatever you're tying. You can find these and tons of other great MFC products at your favorite dealer, in-store, or online.